So I don't see too many people talking about this when the Sicilians were hung by a bunch of people in New Orleans because they were accused of killing the police chief. But there was a backstory to this. The police chief was set up by a security detail. Okay, the guy that was with him that night was the head of the security company, and he was supposed to go and follow the chief everywhere as he went as his personal bodyguard, but he didn't. He left them like a block and a half away, and then he got gunned down. And then he claims he ran to the chief's body, and the chief, before he died, said the Dago shot him. So it was all a big setup. It didn't happen like that at all. But no one knows that part. Everybody just talks about the Italians or the Sicilians who were shot to death inside the jail after they were acquitted and whatnot. And they tried to make it into an anti-Italian thing. But what was really happening behind the scenes is actually repeating itself today with the governor and the mayor and the sheriff, Sheriff Hutton of New Orleans. I don't know if y'all heard this or not, but they got hit with a virus, a computer virus. It shut down the entire jail. Nobody can bond out. They can't issue new court dates. And they're doing this to raise up. A private security company did this because Donald Trump wants to send the military to New Orleans and they want to take over the city. The governor, I did a video about this a couple of weeks ago. The governor of Louisiana wants to take over the city. Well, this is the same thing that was happening 100 years ago, 130 years ago, actually. The guy, the private contractor, his name was O'Connor, he was contracted to guard Chief Hennessy, and he didn't, and Chief Hennessy got shot, and he allegedly told the private contractor that, the Dagos did it. Well, the same thing's happening today in New Orleans. They want to take over. The governor and now the president wants to take over the city of New Orleans. They're doing it with all the Democratic cities across the USA. They want to send the military, the National Guard in, blah, 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 blah. New Orleans, they had the recent escapees that got out, who was let out by that worker, okay? Those 10 people escaped. Now the virus hit. Sheriff Hutton, everyone is losing support across the board in Orleans Parish. The police chief, that woman, that white lady, she's losing popularity. She's been in a couple of recent stories, including her vehicle allegedly hit somebody. She allegedly hit somebody and left the scene or whatever. So they're making the case, and now the computer virus over the weekend that crippled the Orleans Parish Jail. So now they're making the case for a private security company, the same people who created that virus, are going to take over the city of New Orleans, and it's probably the same company that Trump hired to replace the CIA. But that was what happened 130 years ago in New Orleans. You had a private security company who had the police. The chief of police in New Orleans is appointed by the mayor, okay? Now, he was killed probably by that private contractor who blamed the Dagos for doing it, the Italians, the Sicilians, so they can take over the NOPD, over the police of New Orleans, because there's big money there. There's the French Quarter, there's a lot of tourism, there's just a lot of big money going into New Orleans. And if you can make the case to control it, then you control all that. Right now, the governor has the state police in New Orleans. And if the state police arrest you, you don't get prosecuted by the elected district attorney in Orleans Parish. You get prosecuted by the attorney general of the state. So they circumventing the Orleans Parish, the black Orleans Parish district attorney. They arresting people and not utilizing his office. And now they going after the actual sheriff and the chief of police. And they're doing that today in New Orleans, okay? And they also did it 130 years ago with this story here. So that is the real story behind the Italians who got lynched in New Orleans.